Hello there. As I begin recording, I am flipping pages, and I have a bookmark, and I didn't think to use it. Bookmark! Bookmarks come in handy. I have a proposition to put to you. Just because you say you're a Christian doesn't mean you are a Christian. And there are various permutations of that. Just because you're a member of a church, you're not necessarily a Christian. Just because somebody put you into the water, which is the biblical teaching on baptism, or poured some water on you, or sprinkled some water on you, that does not make you or prove you to be a Christian. Now, the word Christian only appears twice in the Bible, but what the term means appears all through the New Testament. I want to go to verse John. Yeah, right, verse John. Did you know that Christians can misspeak? There's a bumper sticker. I haven't seen one in a while. I don't see too many bumper stickers, and most of them are promoting the control of the state over everything you do. But there was a bumper sticker once that was real popular that said, "Christians aren't perfect, just forgiven." There might be some slight quibble on the first part of that statement, a theological quibble. But certainly, no, we don't claim, and no one who knows what he's talking about will claim for us, that we are completely free of error in our lives, in our words, in our thoughts, in our feelings, what have you. We misspeak sometimes and say things like verse John. I am here in the book of John, in the 3rd chapter, and I want to read some words to you that will be at least somewhat familiar, even if you don't know anything about Christianity. And I take my glasses off to read. Verse John. I keep saying verse John. Sheesh. If I were any other channel, I'd either edit it out, I don't have the facilities, or I'd just stop it and start over. But I'm a WYSIWYG kind of guy. What you see is what you get. In the 3rd chapter of John, in verse 1, "Now there was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. This man came to Jesus by night and said to him, 'Rabbi, we know that you have come from God as a teacher, for no one can do these signs that you do unless God is with him.' Then verse 3, Jesus answered and said to him, 'Truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God.' Nicodemus said to him, 'How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter a second time into his mother's womb and be born?'" And I actually intended to skip that, not because it's unimportant, but because my point is focused on a particular phrase. So I am going to skip down to verse 7 now. This is Jesus speaking. "Do not marvel that I said to you, you must be born again." So that is two times that Jesus has said in this conversation with Nicodemus, and it went on for a while. 2 times that he has said, you must be born again. And as always happens when I start recording, my allergies are kicking up. I am going to pause the video, and you'll see me come right back. And I'm back. That pausing the video, and I thought I'd dealt with this. Pausing the video is the only editing I do unless I start completely over. I don't have the facilities, and I'm perfectly happy that way. Twice, Jesus said to Nicodemus, "You must be born again." Now he says you. This is a personal thing. It is not a matter of being a member of an organization. You, yourself, personally, must be born again. Then he says must. It's imperative. It's essential. You are not a Christian unless you're born again. The phrase born again Christian is redundant. It's like saying canine dog or bovine cow or equine horse. It's like saying the sky above. Well, where else is the sky? The ground beneath. Where else is the ground? It's like saying a human man. Well, all men are human, and all women are human. And human, by the way, this is not my subject, but human is the only race of people. There's no such thing as a black race and a white race and this race and that race. There's the human race. Born again Christian is redundant. To be born again is to be a Christian. To be a Christian is to be born again. If you're not born again, you're not a Christian. You must be born again. And then there's the phrase born again. Now, this obviously means you're born once, and then you're born again. You're born into physical life, then you're born into spiritual life. You're born of your mother into this world. You're born of the Spirit into the spiritual world. But that word that we translate again, and just so you know, I'm not a Greek scholar. I have looked this up in more than one reference, so I'm not just depending on one. So don't quote me as a Greek scholar. I'm not one. I'm not a scholar, period. I'm a student, not a scholar. But the Greek word there, and I'm probably going to mispronounce it, is anothen. And it can either mean again, as we have it here, or it also means from above. This tells us that the new birth does not come from within us. It does not come from those around us. It does not come from water. It does not come from what we do. It does not come from what others do for us. It comes from above. And what's above? God. Born from God is not what Jesus said, but it is a good way of getting the point across of what he did say. Born from God. If you're born again, God did it. If God didn't do it, if you're looking to water to do it, or a preacher to do it, or a preacher putting you into water to do it, or if you're looking to church membership to do it, you're looking in the wrong place. If you're standing on, well, let's say you're standing here in the northeast heights of Albuquerque and you want to see Mount Taylor. If you look south, you're looking in the wrong place. If you look east, how could I forget that? If you look east, you're looking in the wrong direction. If you look north, you're looking in the wrong direction. You will not see Mount Taylor until you look west. If you want to see me, you have to look at the screen. You can't look at the floor. You can't look at the ceiling. You can't look behind you. You have to look at the screen. If you want the new birth, You have to forget about churches. Now, understand, this is where I put the cookies on the bottom shelf. I am not getting into every detail of everything I mention. When I say forget about this, forget about that, I'm not saying they are wrong. I'm not saying they're useless. I'm not saying they're unbiblical. I'm saying that when it comes to being born again, in that specific context, forget about a church. Forget about water. Forget about the preacher. Forget about this. Forget about that. Forget about the other. If you're ever going to be born again, it comes from God. So, if you want to be a Christian, you have to be born again. If you want to be born again, you have to seek the face of God. He is the only one who can produce this change. So at this point, if you're waiting for me to tell you how to be born again, you're doing the wrong thing. If you're waiting for me to tell you how to get saved, a phrase that's not in the Bible, and granted, simply being absent from the Bible does not make a thing wrong. The word Trinity is not in the Bible. Is the concept there? Yes, it is. The phrase get saved is not in the Bible. Is the concept there as people mean it? No, it is not. To be saved is not something you do. You can get dressed. You can get ready for work. You can get lost. You can get up in the morning. You can get yourself to the grocery store. You cannot get saved. It's not your action. You must be born from God. So don't look to me, don't look to a church, don't look to water, don't look to anything you can do or someone else can do for you. If you want to be born again, turn this video off and start looking to God. And I realize I didn't intend to, but I kind of sound mad, and I have to confess I am. I am angry at those who for centuries have been leading people astray by pointing them to anything and everything except God and telling them if you join the church, you're a Christian. If you're baptized, you're a Christian. If you do this, you're a Christian. If you do that, you're a Christian. If you do these 42 things, and you get saved and you're a Christian. No, that's wrong. And I become angry at false teachers propagating false doctrine. Look to God. If you are ever going to be a Christian, He has to do it. He has to make you a Christian. And that's what we call the new birth. That's what Jesus was talking about. You must be born again from above.